Hi, and welcome to Coach's Corner, where systems matter and both personal and professional learning and development is beneficial for everyone and essential for some. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started.
So we're going to talk about business costs. What are some of the more uncommon business costs that people probably don't think about when starting their business? Or maybe not for people because can't speak for them, but for you personally.
Yeah, I don't know about uncommon, but it's a progression, right? So you do a lot of things on your own, like everything.
Yeah.
At first, right? You are the secretary, you are the CEO, you are the janitor. I mean, you're cleaning toilets.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, you're negotiating a $100,000 deal. Right at first. So that's where that's at. And then it's not uncommon, but it's like, man, when for not every business, every business is different, but for a lot of businesses, the payroll, and how expensive it is.
Right.
You're like, man, you look up and you're like, I just spent a large chunk of money this month, and 80% of that went to payroll.
Yeah.
Now for some businesses, maybe if you buy planes and sell, it might be inventory. Right. But so I don't think, what was your exact word that you used? Uncommon?
Uncommon, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that those things are necessarily uncommon, but they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Now, if you do want to get into uncommon, it would be you start bringing in chefs, you bring in fitness people, you bring in, a maid or a cleaner of the business or janitorial service That's probably a little bit more common, but some of those other things are probably outside of most purviews in regards to entrepreneurs and business people, because they can't afford to do that, or a haircut person, somebody that comes in and cuts your hair every 2 weeks, or a massage therapist. Some of those types of things that once you get established, that you may want to do because you're providing employment or money to as a self-employed independent contractor or freelancer, and you're also getting benefits for you and your household.
Got it. I don't know anything about the haircut every 2 weeks thing, but everything else I understood.
Yeah. Did you guys see this? Man, I that's called psychological warfare. I was working on him in YouTube land, and it worked. I got mine cut yesterday. Is it lopsided?
Now, what was so when you first opened your own business?
Yeah.
What was the biggest thing that you had to pay for? You're like, oh crap, I didn't think about
that. Again, it was just the payroll. So last time we had talked about one of a really good restaurant business of one of my ex-agents.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad were bringing in $1 million, but they were only netting $50,000 between the two of them, and they're working 12 hours a day, each of them. Right. So the net was like, oh my goodness, it was basically whatever. What do they call it? Sweat labor or whatever.
Or sweat, not sweat equity, but sweat labor.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so, because what was the exact question? I'm sorry.
The biggest shock for when you opened up your own business.
It's just a lot of money that goes out to the people. And that's why, when I was a teacher and they go, small business is the heartbeat of America, I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, I'm a cool teacher.
Yeah.
I'm a school teacher, and I'm going to teach your kid how to shoot a basketball, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, when I started my business, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Because, you're not just employing, if you think about it, you're not just employing your employees or the freelancers or.
Yeah.
But how, we always talk about the pebble in the water and how far do the ripples go.
Yeah.
But, what about the people that are what I call the externals, the CPAs, the janitorial service, right? So you have your internals, then you have your externals, and then what else is it doing? Because if I'm making money, then I'm also spending money at that doctor's office or Albertsons or the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
So, when you don't think like that, because you're just trying to teach a kid how to, put his hand in the cookie jar, so to speak, shooting a basketball, you don't understand and know that.
Right.
And so, when people talk about, like taxes on the the business owners and they overtax, you're just basically, most people aren't going to have a business and not try to grow the business, right? They're going to try to grow it. Well, if they have extra money because they're not paying as much in taxes, that's just one more person that gets employed with them, probably.
Right.
Maybe not, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's a good chance of it.
Yeah. Got it. And so, talking about taxes and different things like that.
Yeah.
When you first open your business, do you think it's smart to hire someone to do the bookkeeping and different things like that, or do you think that it's better to do it in-house and then as you grow, then go and find someone?
I would say that's the one thing. Do it as soon as you can. But again, at first, you're not going to probably be able to afford it. Right. So you take it to whatever TurboTax or another endorsement, TurboTax or whatever.
Yeah.
Your wife does it, right? Or something. But I would say that it's something that I find interesting. So we complain about paying 3% to a realtor.
Yeah.
But we'll pay 10 or 20% to a waitress.
Yeah.
The realtor's working their butt off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the waitress or the waiter isn't.
Right.
But yeah, one's an hour and one's, days and sometimes weeks and months.
Right.
And so I always find that curious. Like, I believe in paying the people for what they're worth. And like my current CPA.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, that dude's worth every penny, man. He's smart. He's thoughtful. He takes ownership. He's conservative, which I really like.
Yeah.
And, because my previous one was a donkey. So it's like, if you can find a good one.
Right.
And I know with my previous one, I was telling my wife and my mom, I said, this person's a donkey. They didn't want to listen.
Yeah.
Because I can see things usually ahead of schedule.
Right.
Right. There's telltale signs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you can get any kind of professional that can help you, especially around money and being because my CPA is a strategic partner too.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. That's not the other person I had was just a CPA or accountant. This person, we talk. What do you think about this? What do you think about that?
Right. Got it. And so I would think that with running a business, budgeting is a pretty big thing, and making sure you're right on budget. How do you budget so well, and what does that look like for you? Do you do it on a monthly basis, a yearly basis, a weekly basis?
Well, I think first we should probably discuss what a budget is. Kind of how does the money work in simple terms.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into profit and loss and all that, but just simple terms around budget. So a budget is what you think will happen, and it should be, for the month, quarter, biannually, and yearly, right? I mean, right?
Yeah.
Now things can change,
Yeah.
But the budget is, this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Now the reality is that sometimes you can go over budget, sometimes you're under budget, but the budget's important. So it's like I tell people, go look in the mirror and you'll see if your face is blemished, right? That's what the budget does, is it allows you to know, are you, hey, I look pretty good, right? This month I budgeted for $50,000 and I spent $49,000. You're like, woohoo!
Yeah.
Right? There's other months you're budgeting for $50,000 in the month and it winds up being $70,000. And you're like, stupid, right? You're like, how did that happen? Right? But the budget allows you to, like the training wheels. By the way, can you teach your brother how to ride a freaking bike, please? The training wheels, it makes you kind of stay within the parameters, right? I don't know if this is true, so I could be full of bull, but some of these reality TV, I don't watch them, so that's why I don't know if this is true or not.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but some of those people, they don't have any budget, and they're spending like $50,000 a month on stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have a budget. It's kind of unlimited.
Right.
To me, that's no. I don't even care if you're making, $10 million a month.
Right.
Right? If that's your net, you just, come on, right? Like, do you really need a $4 billion purse?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to judge,
Yeah.
teach everybody's own, but I think that a budget keeps you in parameters, just like a tricycle, or when you go to Disneyland, they have a little thing in between so you can't run over into the grass and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important about a budget. And then the actuals, your expenses, right?
Yeah.
So you have a budget,
Right.
and then you have your income or your revenues,
Yeah.
and then you have your actual expenses, and then you reconcile it at the end, and then that's going to go over to profit. There's all kinds of other stuff,
Yeah.
but I think a budget's critically important. It's like anything else, prevention.
Right. And then for you personally, and how you run your budget,
Yeah.
do you think it's the best way overall for everyone to, or do you think it's just best for you?
Well, I mean, I think, I don't know. Maybe there's 400 ways to do a budget, but in my mind, in the end, you have to kind of line out what you think's going to go out.
Yeah.
And so, your group A may be group D for me or whatever, but in the end, it's like I tell people about, a smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it all in there, it's just all in there.
Got it.
Right. So I don't think that there's necessarily, that this budget's better than that budget or whatever, but you got to get all possibilities on there. And then what I do is I'm a clumper.
Mm-hmm.
And so I clump stuff together. My CPA's like, you can't clump. You got 18 businesses. You got your own personal.
Yeah.
But I like to clump because my brain, I don't need to think about 401 things if I can think about one.
Right.
Right. And so hopefully that answers that.
Yeah, it does.
If you need to contact Brett or Coach, please do so on his social media accounts, email, and or text. You can find that information in the description below. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Thanks, and we hope you enjoyed.
Peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed.